Ladies and gentlemen, take faith in knowing that you're almost there. It's almost Friday. It's almost the weekend. But until then, you can hang out because, hello, nerds. Welcome to GeekBeast. This is the part of the Geekish Network where we sit down and give you the daily rundown of geek news from geeks that look like you, geeks that look like me, and geeks that look like my man over here beside me, yo, Chuck the Black Lion, aka
What's up, everyone?
A-Team. What's cracking, baby? What's going
Not
on
much,
with
man.
you?
What's going on? Nothing chilling, man. How you doing? It's been a while.
Welcome
It's
back.
been a
Welcome
while.
back.
Yeah,
Welcome back. Welcome back.
I know it,
Yeah,
right?
boy.
It's been a
Hey,
while.
man. Hey, I had
I
my
missed
feet
you
all up on the
guys.
sofa on the kitchen counter. I'm like, yo, Pops is gone. We had a little bit of a house
Is that,
party.
is that is that what's happening? Pops
Hey,
is
man, I
gone,
can't
so
lie. I mean,
you out here having fun, throwing parties, throwing mad
oh, man,
rays, throwing
we might have hopped in your liquor
ragers
cabinet
out
for a little
here.
bit.
I'm not okay. I'm not okay with you throwing ragers at my house.
Oh,
Just
man, we were quite
messing
respectful.
around.
We were
I'm
quite
glad you had a good time.
The police didn't show up, man. So it's all good, man. Yeah, we
Oh
had some really
yeah.
good guests, man. But the spirit of you was missing, my
Hmm.
guy. There is no substitute, man. There is no substitute for you, man. So I'm just happy that you're back, man. I feel
Thank
like
you. Thank you.
Outcast is back, my guy.
Oh yeah,
Outcast
now you're
is
back
back.
together.
Yes.
I know
Yes,
it. It's
he's back.
exciting.
All right. Well, listen, I know we're having like these poignant moments, and for those of you
Yes.
that happen to be watching this live and or on Restream, what you doing watching on Restream? Come check us out live. You know what I'm
Check us
saying?
out live.
If you haven't already, go and hit that subscription button. But if you are new to the show, we cover the Geek News Beat and we share our opinions with
Hmm.
you. Yo, we are a channel that celebrates people of color, geeks of color, and we get the amazing opportunity to express our opinions. And this show in particular we get to express our opinions about the Geek News Beat. It's gonna be tons of fun. I promise you, you're probably gonna hear some takes that you probably
Hot
haven't already
takes.
heard.
The hottest
You
takes you
know?
can ever have. They're
Yeah,
gonna be
but
hot.
it's tons
It's
of
gonna be
fun.
super hot
Hey, now
today.
exactly. Now keep in mind this is for entertainment purposes. So please don't be quoting everything that we say at the water cooler. We don't want you to get
Yeah,
fired
it's
over
not
us
Bible
having some
here. It's
jokes.
not
Yeah.
Bible. Not Bible at all. It's something else. It's
Smart.
non-religious. It's like a comic book. It's not Bible at all. It's comic book.
Exactly. There we go.
Hmm.
All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and peel some of the layers back
Peel them
on
back.
this amazing Thursday. All right. Hey, so the very first US Super Nintendo World is coming to Universal Studios Hollywood in 2023, according to The Verge. So the Universal Studios Hollywood will be the first US park with a Super Nintendo World when it opens its doors next year. Last year, the first Nintendo style theme park made its debut at Universal Studios location in Osaka, Japan. So, despite a number of delays for obvious reasons, people have been waiting around for its California debut for some time.
Hmm.
So right now, Universal says Nintendo themed merch will be available in its gift shop soon, but didn't go into much detail about what rides and experiences will be available at the
Yeah.
U.S. Super Nintendo World location. Now, here's the thing: like this is one of the great perks about checking out our show is that you get a chance to talk to people that have a really good understanding regarding things like this subject matter, and we have one of those people here with us today. Chuck has dabbled in things in this area without being
Yes,
specific.
I have.
So how are we feeling about the U.S. version of Nintendo America's theme park?
I don't know how much real estate they have, but if they can make it on par as the same as the one in Japan, this could be
Mhm.
very amazing. This could be an amazing, amazing land right now. And I think it just comes down to their ability to translate what they created in Japan, innovate it a little
Right.
bit, maybe bring another e-ticket out here with it.
Mhm.
This could be
Right.
amazing.
All right.
In
All
in
right.
Florida, they have
Mhm.
Epic Universe they're building. And we don't know all the lands in Epic Universe. So Universal's building their third park. So they already have
Oh
two
wow.
parks, so they're building their third one. So Disney World is four parks.
Okay.
But it's Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom,
Hmm. Hmm.
Epcot,
Hmm.
and man, I just brain farted. I just brain farted right now. The
It's
last part.
okay.
The last part is there's four of them. Well, there's four of them. So, and for Disneyland, there's two parks. There's
Okay.
a Disney California Adventure, and there's Magic Kingdom.
Mm,
Disneyland,
mm,
Disneyland
mhm.
actually. So yeah, so this is gonna be exciting. I wonder if they're gonna make it like a park. Where are
Right.
they putting it over there in the valley? I have no idea,
It's
but
not a
they
lot of
do have
space out there,
space.
right? Yeah,
You
you
know,
think so? I mean, I've lived in the
they
valley. I
can
mean,
pull a
I've lived in North Hollywood, and it
mhm,
doesn't seem like it's like bust bursting at the seams with space. But
yeah.
I
I
think
mean, they
they could
still
do
use
better,
it as a lot. It still uses
right?
a lot. So they cut their lot space, get rid of that jaws behind the scenes and the
Uh,
loss of down aircraft. Get rid of all that. Get rid of all
yeah.
that. The tour, the Universal tour, and drop a Disney Super Nintendo World there. It could be
Right.
amazing. They do have the
Oh
space.
man, I had a bit of a flashback.
Hmm.
Back in my days when I used to be a production assistant on a lot of those projects, I used to work on
Hmm.
that a lot, man. And we used to sneak in. There was a couple of great little places that you could sneak in and we can get in for free. And we used to actually play hide and go seek by
Oh
the yeah. You remember what was the joint War of the Worlds when Tom Cruise made that
wow.
movie, and there was a piece of this lot that had the crashed plane, right?
Hmm.
And it was like debris all over the place, and like crashed in front of like this neighborhood, and we used to play hide and seek out there. So you just brought me back home. You had me some really good memories.
Oh
Hey,
yeah.
so hey, to kind of get back on task, if you were curious as to what the Japanese version of this Super Nintendo World in Japan used a separate space within the larger park, as well as a smart watch like power up
Hmm.
band that pairs with your phone to track your progress through the park. The rides
Yes.
available so far included an augmented reality Mario Kart experience and a slower paced Yoshi's Adventure train ride. A Donkey Kong theme area is supposed to open the area in 2024. So, based off of what we've already seen in Japan, what would you want to be like a must have ride based off of what we've seen in Japan? What would you want to see over here and why? If you're allowed to, disclose that type of
The I
information.
would love to see the boss battles, and I honestly would love to see the Donkey Kong ride.
Okay.
You know,
No. All right.
the Mario Kart ride. I'm okay with it.
Mhm.
Um, it's not the Mario Kart I would envision, but
Okay.
it's interesting. But I do like the whole. There's a leaderboard. Everybody's on one of four teams, and you sit there. I tell everybody once you punch a punch block, it changes everything.
Mm.
It changes everything.
Really? Okay.
Hmm.
That sounds interesting. I mean, I probably
Hmm.
obviously would need more context to fully understand that, and I understand
It's like
you can't
you in
disclose that.
Mario,
But
you walk over and you jump up
yeah,
and you hit the block
the
and it
block.
goes and
Right.
it makes the perfect sound. It's perfectly on par of what you expect in a Mario world. What you expect, what you
Really?
see in the game is what you get in the park.
That's fun. That's
Yes.
fun.
And you're like, oh
Now,
yeah,
now we
oh
have to keep in mind
yeah,
that regardless of what's been
take
going
all
on
my
in the
money.
world, um, theme parks have been still finding success.
Yes, they
Regarding
have.
a perfect example is the Hogwarts adventure that's based off of the world of Harry Potter. It's found
Hmm.
some really good success. Uh, I had my doubts regarding when this was first brought up regarding a video game based theme park. I was like, well, I definitely can understand how that could work overseas,
Yeah.
especially in Japan. I can absolutely see how that works. But I was like, I don't know how that translates here. But in the past 2 years, people have been losing their mind over video game content, be it regardless of what it is, especially in television and movie formats. I think the US may be ready for this. I have to say I was absolutely wrong, and you were one of the people that stood up and told me like, "Yo, they're ready. This is
Yeah.
a project that the
I
US
mean,
is."
I can't imagine them not want an interactive park. I mean, if Sky Zones work, trampoline parks work, what's the difference in a theme park? They're just
Right,
places where you go and have fun.
right, yeah, yeah.
So
No, that's very true.
you telling me that you can't put a grown person and a child in the same place to have recess? It's not gonna be fun. Let's think about what roller coaster parks are, right? You walk from ride to ride,
Uh-huh.
and the rides may be themed. And a theme park is you walk from land to land, and the rides are themed.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
No,
all
you're right.
passive, it's kind of passive entertainment outside of riding it. It's when you add interactivity that it comes to life. You mean I can
Well,
do something in the park and change what the park looks like, so feels like for everybody else?
mhm.
Who
Yeah.
doesn't want
Well,
that?
No, I agree. I agree. And if you've
Hmm.
been to a theme park, the amount of time that you spend actually on the ride compared to the amount of time that you
Hmm.
spend waiting in line, actually walking to the
Hmm.
ride, eating, and all that pales in comparison to the time
Yes.
down from the actual rides. And if you are a fan of that themed experience, aka the Nintendo experience, then you are going to have you're going to have an incredible amount of fun while you're on the in between, right?
Hmm.
So that's gonna work out. Yo, big shout out to the chat. Hey, if this is your first time bopping in, please make sure you say hello to us in the
Yeah.
chat. If you're watching this on Restream, that's one of the great things about watching us live is that we get to answer some of your questions, and we have the chat popping off right now.
And I got
Defunct,
all
hey,
the
what's going
wrong
on with you?
answers. I got all the wrong answers. That's what I'm coming with. Wrong answers only. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Yo, the fuck said he said let's see a Metroid haunted house for Halloween Horror Nights. That's actually not bad. I mean,
That's
that does,
actually
that
that's
sci-fi
actually
horror
smart.
kind of theme.
Yeah. I mean, you watch
Yeah,
the new
really
Metroid
work,
Dread, you think you're in a haunted house with that little creature
right?
crawling behind you.
That's what I'm saying. Yo, I still haven't played that, but everybody that I've talked to
Yeah,
that's played it loves it. You're just trying to get away.
yeah, it's tough.
Mm. Well, video game news is not something that's going to die down
Not at
anytime
all.
soon, and it hasn't in the news either, because Princess Peach is the latest Mario character to get their own interactive Lego set. Yo, if there's one thing that this show really loves, and we talk about a lot in at length, is video games and Legos. So
Yes.
we got another great marriage with Princess Peach. I haven't taken a chance to take a look and see what her setup looks like. I'm actually going to check it out right now as
I'm
we speak.
excited.
Is it on your must have? Is it on your must have list? Man, yo, the castle looks kind of
Absolutely.
dope. I like the castle. Huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
Yep.
all in on it. Give me that peach. Give me
I
that
feel
peach.
I feel like with the combination of the news that we just received regarding Nintendo's introduction into the U.S. market, I feel like this is probably going to be one of those must-have pieces that is going to sell out rather quickly. And if
Yeah,
you are
yeah.
new to the show, these Lego sets go quick. Not
They
only
go
they go
quick.
quick, they go quick and gain value.
Yeah,
So if you
yeah.
like if you
They're
like
like
these
gold.
setups,
It's like
yeah.
I can buy Legos for somebody and they
Mhm.
can earn value, or I could buy some other random toy. Who does that?
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
always Legos.
Well, Legos
My
very
friends are
rarely
like, "Well, you
disappoint.
always buy kids Legos." I'm like, "Guess what I buy? Don't judge me. I only buy kids one thing. And it's called Legos."
Mm,
And yes,
right.
everybody deserves to have Legos.
You know why they don't disappoint? It's just even if you don't like the actual physical construction, I mean the way it looks when it's completed, the act of building is second to none. It's just so satisfying.
Absolutely.
So you could be building, I don't know, a statue of Leonardo da Vinci's David, and you're just happily as you're piecing together a Lego penis. You just don't care. You're just having fun.
Yeah.
Legos has that type of effect. It doesn't really matter what you're building. It's the act of actually building it. Big shout out to the chat again. Yo, Defunct said, I am very disappointed that they didn't put that Lego Bowser airship on sale today for the March 10 day. I didn't even know Bowser had a set. That's news to me.
Yeah, Bowser does. I want that
Uh,
Bowser airship too. It ain't no
uh,
joke. Ain't nothing to play
no.
with over there. Wu Tang ain't nothing to play with. It ain't nothing to play with over there. Wu Tang Clan, Wu Tang.
Yo, is it on your hot list? Because I know you, man.
Absolutely,
I know you.
absolutely.
You got to be like one of the first people to grab
The
these joints.
I actually want all the Lego sets.
All right, so apparently, like the addition of the Lego Luigi last year, the Lego Princess Peach starter kit doesn't make any major changes from the initial Lego Mario sets from 2020.
Hmm.
Said the broad technology is still the same for all three characters, which uses a combination of an LCD display for animating each character's facial expression and main screen on their chest, and essentially that can scan barcodes and react to different colored Lego tiles. The Lego characters can also connect to a companion app over Bluetooth, as well as to each other for two-play gameplay. So
Hmm.
this sounds like it's got more than just the building aspect
Yeah,
of
it's
it.
more
It
than
has
just
more
build. It has a game
interactions.
component to it. Yeah,
I'm
they have
feeling
game
that.
components.
that's
So
cool.
they're totally awesome. Don't you
Yeah,
want that?
yeah. I
Who
mean,
doesn't want that?
I would just build it. I probably wouldn't go out of my way to get set piece sets, but I just want to build it. I just want to build it and just enjoy it and have
Mhm.
some
I know
fun.
you do. Yeah, yeah.
uh,
I will go out of my way to get it and build it and just look at it and then unbuild it and put it back away and be like, "My precious,
so
my precious."
one of these days, when we get a chance to actually sit in front of each other face to face, we'll
Mhm.
definitely have a couple of drinks, talk some trash, and build some Legos. I think to me that is a perfect just hangout kind of moment. And listen to
You know, I
some
got them.
music.
I got
I
them
know you
all.
got it. I know you got
Got
all
'em.
that, man.
Got them. Got them. Got them. Got them for the play. You let
Yeah.
me know when you ready. I'm born
Yo,
ready.
Bet I'm holding you to
Mhm.
that. Hey, the video game news doesn't stop, and now it is also blending into world politics
What we
as well
got? What do we
because
got?
Indie Games Bundle has raised over $1 million for Ukraine relief in just under 24 hours. This is according to The Verge. An indie
Wow.
game developer-led initiative to raise money for charities providing relief in the Ukraine has already raised over $1 million in a little over 16 hours. So over 700 creators on itch.io put together the bundle for Ukraine, a collection of over,
Just
now get this, listen to this
itch.io.
number. A collection of over 900
100
indie
games.
games and
Mhm.
more, with all proceeds going to charities providing relief assistance in the country. That number alone should be enough to make you be like, take my money. There's
Yes.
going to be some winners. There's going to be some winners in 900 out of 900 games.
So one thing that itch.io did before when George Floyd died, they raised
Okay.
millions of dollars for him, like with over 1,000 video games. I think they have 1,400 video games for sale.
Wow. Whew. Wow.
Yeah.
So I know everybody's looking at me and looking at they're like, well, how much trade? Saying for a minimum $10 donation, players can get a veritable smorgasbord of games, including Skatebird, Super Hot, and many more. The
Yeah.
bundle isn't limited to games, but also includes books, tabletop RPGs, game assets, comics, music, and more. Wait, I didn't even know we was getting in. I'm out of hand over here.
Yeah.
To the start and going to put my money down because I need that in my life.
Yes.
Yep. The bundle for Ukraine supports two charities, the International Medical Corps and the Ukraine-based Voices of Children, which provides mental health services to children who've experienced the trauma of war. I mean, I can't think of a better combination. You get to get an insane amount of games, comics, movies, video games, all kinds of stuff. Uh, and you're doing it for a good cause. And it's going to
Hmm.
two different associations. If you're not already like going ahead and subscribing, what are you doing? It's a win for everybody.
Yep.
You said that did you participate in the George Floyd bundle? Like,
Yeah, it's
did it
called the
meet your expectations?
Bundle for Racial Justice and Equality.
Okay.
Yep. $10.
And you said it was like close to like 1,400 games in that?
Mm-hmm.
That is
Mm-hmm.
nuts. Did it include
Yeah.
like some of the same perks that this one has when it comes to like
Yeah.
comic books and RPG, tabletop
They didn't
elements
have
and all of that?
they didn't have that, but this is a nice bundle. I'm about to buy it right now for $10. $10, you
That's
cannot
what
go
I'm
wrong.
saying.
It
You
doesn't
can't
it's
lose. You
just it's
can't
just
lose.
$10.
$10.
You should definitely everybody should jump in on this bundle. Just grab it just for the sake of grabbing it.
Absolutely, man. Okay, that's a really good. Big shout outs to Defunk, who is our curator for a lot of our
Mhm.
news. He found this gem and put it into our newsfeed.
Yeah. Like I don't
So
understand
Defunk,
why
you are
we're
much
not
appreciated.
online right now purchasing it right now. Like
I
this
know
could
I
be the
am, man.
perfect.
I feel bad for actually delaying. I hope the sale is still going on. I'm sure it
It's
is.
going to go on.
Hey,
You got 10 days, baby. And you can have all these games. And trust me, they got winners up in here. They got some winners up in here. I mean, you know, it's $6,500 worth of games for $10.
that's nuts.
Know what I'm saying? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So for $10, you're gonna find one game you're gonna like in here.
Mhm.
I'm going through the bundle now. I'm gonna look at it right now. They raised $3.8 million already.
That's already wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, 3 million. See, this is
Three
what happens
million.
when the culture comes together. You know, geek culture's coming together and is
Yeah.
looking past whatever our own small, silly little
Oh
differences there
man.
are. finding the thing that unites us both and then taking that love and spreading it over to people that really need it. I think
They
it's
have they have
very,
they
very
have
warm, warm and fuzzy.
Sundered,
Uh-huh.
Sundered. They
Mhm.
have a short hike. They have super hot. That alone is worth. They have Celeste, um, Shattered Planet. They got tons of games here. Tons of them. The
Based off
Mortician's
of the website that
Tale.
I'm looking at, it's saying you still have, if for some reason you can't pull the seven out, I mean the excuse me, the $10 out, you still have 7 days as well
Yeah.
in order to donate to this great cause. Man, yeah, the list is crazy. Over here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. I will have a little bit more time. But listen, in more in Russian news as well, because
Mhm.
international issues and tech can blend, as we've just seen regarding Ichio's way of donating to the cause. Russia is taking their own steps as well. So the headline says Russia may legalize software piracy to get around sanctions. The Russian government is looking to legalize at least some software piracy to help its citizens get around their growing list of tech, gaming, and software bans that the country faces due to its ongoing and destructive invasion of Ukraine. So, Russia's Ministry of Economic Development has introduced a potential new law called the Priority Action Plan, ensuring the development of the Russian economy in the conditions of external
Mhm.
sanctions and pressures.
Mhm.
So, cancellation of liability for use of software unlicensed in the Russian Federation, owned by or copyright holders from countries that have supported the sanctions, are being addressed. So, in other words, the idea is that once this law is passed, anyone could download and use pirated software, which there is no Russian made alternatives as long as the software originates from a country that currently supports the sanctions against Russia. Um, so man, here's the thing, man. When you're dealing with
Uh-huh.
like these horrible, when you're dealing with like these horrible situations with what's going on with Russia in the Ukraine, this isn't to take sides by no means. What I'm about to say is that there are just private citizens that are involved in this conflict, and Russian private citizens who may or may not support what their government is doing are still going to have to try to figure out their day to day, and a lot of that day to day is dictated on software, especially in this new day and age.
Yeah.
So I can understand why the Russian government, which or not, like I said, I'm not taking a side. I can understand why they're saying, in order to keep their citizens, um, in the mix of doing what they need to do, that they're not going to be enforcing piracy laws. I don't think I've ever heard of something like this going down regarding software and licensing. Have you heard of anything like this before?
No, this opens a whole can of worms all the way open because people are going to start pirating software, not
Yeah,
sanctioning them.
yeah,
And it's way Russia's way to say, "Hey, you want our citizens to vote against us? Well, we just start pirating all your software." I mean, if they really
yeah.
wanted to hit Russia really hard, try to fire all their computers, then not send them microchips.
No,
That'd be
that's
technically bombing them back to the Stone Age, EMP them, and see what happens. That changes everything. I
yeah.
don't think it
But
merits that, private. There's a lot of private citizens in Russia that disagree with their government,
right,
kind of like
right,
how a lot of Americans disagree with their government on
exactly,
Iraq and Afghanistan. Could you imagine if
exactly,
that happened to us? If all Europe said, "Look, America, if you go into Iraq and Afghanistan, we're going to sanction you."
yeah. I mean, there's a whole big conversation that you could definitely have and go
Yeah,
on and on
yeah. So,
regarding that. But I totally understand where you're coming from. I
mhm.
totally feel where you're coming from on that.
I think
Um,
we it's hard, because Putin is a dictator. We know
mhm,
that. He runs this with an iron fist.
mhm.
And I think all these sanctions are not going to bother him. And hook or crook, I'm gonna get my Ukraine.
I mean, it's that's the way it does seem to be
He's like,
heading.
he's I just watched y'all spend 20 years chasing a ghost, and y'all mad at me for being in the place for a month. So
I mean, there's yeah.
there's a lot of truth behind that. Hmm.
Here here's my question. Um, to me, I don't understand why this needs to be announced, because if you are pirating software, um, who's gonna go in Russia and slap you on the wrist for stealing a copy of Minecraft? I don't. That's the part that I don't really understand. I mean, if you're
Hmm.
in a country that's in conflict, I mean, I
Uh,
to me it seems like Russia would be like, I wish you would come over here and try to give us a fine.
yeah,
I just don't see why,
yeah.
that's one of
The,
those things that had to be
the
announced.
the problem they have is a lot of the software takes an online certificate, and
Mm,
so if they can figure a way just to shut off the certificates going into the country, that'd change
mm.
everything.
Ah, okay. Well, if you
You
happen
know,
to
it's
be
very
in the
interesting. You know, nation states operate as their own entities, and they have a whole list of politics inside of them as they, as we made fake borders to create these in the countries in the first place. So this is going to be very interesting to see what happens, because I can only see us pushing so far. You're talking about a country that produces most of the rockets for America, from NASA to missiles.
mm, mm,
Those companies have a lot of weight in America. So,
right.
like they talked about, was it the teachers' pension plan in Kentucky
Uh-huh,
is owned by the
uh-huh.
Russian bank that got sanctioned? So everybody's pension in
Wow.
Kentucky went almost down to zero.
Wow. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Huh.
Yeah, things are interconnected. There's a lot of
Ooh,
interconnection.
you find a lot of interesting things when you follow the
Mhm,
money. You find
mhm.
a lot of
I tell
interesting
everybody,
things.
follow the money, because
Hmm.
one thing that money doesn't do is lose.
Mm. A big shout out to the chat again. Defunk said, "This is more a message to foreign governments and software
Mhm.
publishers than
Yeah,
it is a green light to its citizens." Okay, so there's a
yeah.
little bit of clarity
I
regarding
agree
that.
with the funk on that. It's like, look, this is what we're willing to do. We'll just
Right?
bootleg all your stuff,
Yeah. Huh.
or we'll let it happen. I don't think they should even announce that. I agree with you, Cynthia. They shouldn't,
Well,
but
see,
I
yeah,
understand
that,
why
that
they
was the part I
announced
didn't
it.
get.
That
Why
threat,
would they
that threat
announce it?
is. They think that threat's heavy. What they don't know is software companies are savvy and smart.
Yeah. Well, I know we're getting a little bit closer to closing of the show, but there is one more article I do want to kind of talk
Okay,
about
let's go
because I
over it.
think it's just slightly
Let's go over it.
humorous. And that is, for all my Tinder users out there, those of you all who have watched the Netflix show, what was the Tinder Swindler? I think that's the name of it, that has been trending like crazy. Here's one more bit of information that's going to make your app a little bit more humorous. So Tinder users can now run in-app background checks.
What?
So now they're able to do that in-app to screen their matches for possible violent or harmful past behavior. The company said in a news release. So the checks are via Tinder's partnership with Garbo, a nonprofit that runs online background checks. So the searches will return results that Garbo says are relevant to the user safety and will exclude some information such as drug possessions and loitering of all charges. Sure, and jaywalking too, probably. The searches also won't include personal identifiable information like addresses and phone numbers. According to Tinder, each user will have access to 2 free background check searches. After that, they have to pay $2.50 plus a small processing fee per transaction that will directly fund Garbo's operations and other fees associated with the searches.
Oh,
Yo,
so
man, yo,
basically, they're gonna charge you like $20. You said $2 and plus a small processing fee per transaction, and other fees associated with the searches. So you're basically going to upcharge you for $20 per search.
yo, I mean, okay, first off, I ain't got no dirt. So you can do a background check on me, but
Hmm.
is is that does that feel like a little bit of invasion, or is this like
I think that's
effort
invasion of
being put in the right
privacy.
place,
I think
or is
that's
the
an
effort being put in
invasion
the
of
right place?
privacy.
Okay.
Where do your personal human rights survive or not? It's
Hmm.
like, what if you got shoplifting at like 18 years old?
Right. Yeah. See, and it's stuff like that, and
If
then
somebody that you haven't dated can actually search you and figure that out.
yeah, I mean, people have been doing background checks regardless when
Yeah.
they get into situations, especially if your relationship has moved forward to another level. That's not an uncommon thing for somebody to run a background check on you.
Hmm.
But to make it this easier to assess, because the few people that I do know that have run background checks, it's cost a lot more than $2.50. and there's a
Hmm.
whole process that you have to do. It can be really cheap if you know the right way to get done with it. It can be really expensive if you go so far as hiring like a PI, you know. But to make it just make it just that easily accessible is just wow. That's like really accessible with a quick download. You get 2 free clicks, two free checks on whoever it is
No,
that you want if they happen to have a Tinder profile. Now, here's another question. Do you think that this is going to help make their platform more popular, or kind of turn people off? Because some people do have
I think it's gonna turn
skeletons
people
in their
off. I
closet.
think it's gonna turn people off. If I'm in these streets and I'm getting a hustle on, you
Right,
don't even know where I got this Maserati.
right.
What I
Yeah,
did to get it.
and what's the context of the information that comes back?
Hmm.
Because you said something that really made me be like, "Huh, you're right," and that is, the age you were when you did like some of these things. Like,
Hmm.
let's just say you were 16 years old and you were stealing gum, and now that's like on your record. Is the context going to be like at this year they did this particular thing, or is it just going to say this person has a charge or something, or whatever it is?
Yeah,
Did you watch the Tinder Swindler?
I
Did you
didn't
check it out?
watch it. I didn't watch it at all. Did you watch it? I
No, I
should watch.
didn't. I didn't. To me, and I'm saying this without context because I didn't hear it, I didn't watch it, but it sounds to me that people were just a little too trusting in this guy, and he ended up like ripping them off for tens of thousands and
I
sometimes
mean,
hundreds of thousands of dollars.
people do
Uh,
that, without Tinder all day
yeah,
long. We have movies and fiction about these people. We even praise
right.
some of them. We call some of them presidents. You
Mm.
know, so mhm.
With the success of the Netflix film, do you think that that is a big reason why this technology is now conveniently being
I,
pulled out a couple of weeks after the Tinder
I
Swindlers
don't think I
debut?
don't think it's the film. I think this has probably been planned for years and just
Okay.
happened to come because of the incident, like the film, the real incident that causes the film and how often it happens.
Mm, okay. All right. Well, I think there's going to be some really interesting um interesting information that's going to get pulled.
Hmm.
Because here's the thing, man, like a lot of my friends that are still patrolling those digital dating streets,
Hmm.
they go to other like sites, like other Reddit sites and other messaging board systems where they have like whole sections that's set up strictly for Tinder, and these other whatever the swiping apps are for dating. And I feel like the progression, the next step is there's going to be a site with everybody's personal information that is going to be posted as a result of everybody having this easy access. I feel like it's going to be the who's who spot, and it's going to spread like wildfire. Just
Yeah.
remember, I said it here first. Um,
The biggest problem is somebody screenshots your history and then puts it up on their
mhm.
Facebook page. Like somebody just exposes everybody. Come and search your name. I have a Facebook page. I charge you $10. You can search all the names you want from Garbo.
Mm. Oh, this is going to be fun to
So
watch
it's like a
unfold.
hustle inside of the business itself. I go and
Mm.
pay all the fees and get all the money from somebody else's credit card, and I just post up everybody in the Reddit. I mean, there's many ways to handle that. It's horrible.
I'm just here to watch the madness ensue. Because
Yeah,
let's go again. I promise you, this is going to have
I was gonna
some
have all kinds of
consequences
repercussions.
that people did not account for.
Hmm. Like,
And
the,
people
like,
gonna be
like,
catching strays, dog. People gonna be firing out this information, and it's gonna be a lot of folks catching strays.
like it'd
It's
be different if they
hilarious.
make like it's an agreement between the two people. So say
Right.
I'm conversing with a young lady. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna run my Garbo check on you, and
Hmm.
she goes, hell no. Like, oh, you shady. Then I never
Yeah.
talk to her again. We run red. But she's like, I don't care. You can check everything about me. But okay, let me check.
Well,
That's different. So it's an agreement between the two parties. I'm okay with that.
mhm. Okay. Yeah. All right. I can see that. I can see that. But if it ain't, I'm
And
telling
they
you,
should
dog.
make it where
It's people
if
catching
if, if
strays, dog.
both parties agree to it, whoever asks pays for it, but
Uh-huh.
that person pays for it for both parties.
We'll
So not
see.
only do you do a background check on me, I get to know everything
Mhm.
about you too.
Well, this will be a first first run on this particular platform with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's going to have its problems, and I'm sure they'll iron some of those problems out as well.
Mm-hmm. Or it
But
killed the
it's just
platform. Everybody
yeah.
just gets
Well,
away from it.
these are the times that we're in. So yeah. So if you done your dirt, somebody
Mm-hmm.
might swipe. Somebody might
Yep.
swipe right on you, and it's probably going to
Expose
be out
everything
there
you've
in these
done
streets.
before.
Yeah. Hey, so that is going to conclude the new segment of our show today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Big shout out to my man Chuck for coming back. Dog, I missed you, my guy.
Miss you too.
Oh man. So GeekBeast is now a podcast form as well. So if you missed our live stream and you're watching this on Restream, first of all, you need to be here on our live stream. But don't
Yeah.
worry, you can listen to us on the following day on Apple Podcasts or any other podcasting app.
Yeah.
Please subscribe and leave us a review. That's how the algorithms know that you digging what we're giving you. And of course, please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're /the Geekish Network, and you can like us on Facebook at /the Geekish Network as well. And our Twitch stream is still live, but we're still doing other forms of entertainment, such as game streams, charity streams, cooking streams, and other amazing things we got cooking in the back. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. And please consider subscribing to the channel as well on that platform. If you have Amazon Prime, you can link to us. You link to our account and sub to us using your Prime Gaming. It costs you nothing, but it helps us out tremendously. I absolutely love my co-host and two co-producers, Rodney in the Sky. Thank you so much, Chuck. As always, it's mad love. Huge shout out to the Funk as well for curating all of our content so that we can maintain being interesting for you. Digital Click is who has provided all of this amazing graphical art that you see with us. They also go beyond just the digital the digital aesthetics of what we're going through. They also do marketing as well. It is who GeekBeast trusts. It is who the Geekish Network trusts, and you should trust them as well. Go ahead and hit them up. Digital Click. Let's see. Thursday, I think we're good this evening,
We got
right?
nothing else coming on.
Yeah.
No.
That's cool. But you're going to have a lot of fun regardless, even though you may not be carrying on with us at the end of this show. You can come catch us again tomorrow because the show kind of switches gears. We deal with happy hour. We have a couple of drinks, a couple of laughs. The news doesn't matter as much, and you get a chance to really see us let the hair down.
Be real happy. The bomb getting lit.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming on here lit.
Hey, we are so happy
reckless.
to help close out this Thursday. Yes, exactly. So please come hang out with us tomorrow. Hey, boss man,
talk
you got
reckless.
anything to say to the people?
What's that?
So you got anything to say to the people?
All night. Good night. God bless.
We out of here.